So, the first days of the challenge are gone and I'm feeling very motivated. It feels great to make so much progress. Well, putting up assets there everywhere. I'm gonna cheat and try to use all the assets I have and all the code I've done before to make progress as fast as possible. It's pretty hard in itself to make something usable in 1 month, I think, so that's all fair. I'm gonna take you on a roller coaster of a time-lapse pretty soon and just gonna talk about the sketch and the ideas I had before. So I'm gonna build an island map, that's the plan. I'm probably gonna redo it over and over again, but for now, you're starting at the druid in a small valley in the middle of the island, and there's a small village you can get by using a cave directly in front. Go through a forest into the highlands and to the swamp. Well, that's the idea. I'm gonna show you what I mean in the time lapse. So the first thing I did was pretty much just make a basic terrain and sketch out what I've done on the painting before. Make the island the basic island shape and try to build something like a cave in the middle of it to get a feeling of the scope. Better idea would be to put something like a character or a house, something like this in the middle to have a feeling of the scale. I'm gonna do it later. So yeah, you're gonna see me walking around, feels pretty big, but once you get on the outer sides of the island it feels not as big anymore, so I'm gonna rescale and do it a little bit bigger later. Well, you're gonna see a little bit of change pretty soon when I'm sketching the island. That's because setting up Git is annoying, and when I started to put in the assets, like I've got a lot of Synthi assets I'm gonna use for sketching, prototyping and stuff. Probably gonna change those later on into something darker and change the colors to a darker tone for soulslike, but for prototyping should be pretty nice. Yeah, when I tried to import all the assets was pretty problematic because everyone that used Unreal Engine before with GitHub knows the U maps can get pretty big and you can only upload until like 100 MB. Megabytes, and that was too big, so I had to exclude them in the git ignore file, and yeah, had to redo a little bit and rebuild the island, but it wasn't too bad. So you see me now just sketching the pathway. I described the cavern where you wanna leave the small valley, and I'm gonna smooth it out later on. Just for now, doing some basic sketching. You see me from time to time going back and forth, just to get a feeling of it, zooming out, look at it and go again. Another error I did was starting with a self-made palette of colors and textures. I made the map myself and later realizing I got a map from Synthi assets, so this was far easier and I didn't have to do all the work. Now I'm just importing it and starting to color all the map, getting some reference buildings in so I know how big the map feels. The outer sides, when behind the cliff, should all be water later. Gonna fix this in a moment, right now, and you're gonna feel how the map looks like. Pretty colorful right now, and it's gonna be like this during the prototyping phase. Maybe I'm gonna put on some shaders or some post-processing effects to darken everything later on, but for sure before the game or the demo is ready, I'm gonna change the colors. It's so bright and shiny and not at all Souls-like, but it's good for now and for trying out stuff anyways. So right now I'm gonna make a smooth sand and like a beach on this side, and I'm gonna color the whole map and later on start doing the foliage and the trees and bushes and all the grass, but I'm gonna do this one mainly for the main part in the starting area where the valley is, so I don't have to do all the work if it's not needed at all. I don't know how far I will get, but I did all of this because I wanted to have like a great experience when I'm starting booting up the game and start programming and coding, to have something first to show other people, second to get motivated myself and see something cool. So normally you would probably start over with a character controller, the mechanics or something like this, but I kind of like to start with the landscape and the starting area first to get motivated. I plan to do the character next. Probably I'm gonna use a humanoid character I already got, but I need something to shapeshift into, a werebear and a werewolf, something like this. Gonna design that one because I couldn't find something on the asset store that's not like 500 bucks. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you now with a time lapse for a couple of minutes and relaxing music if you wanna look the whole time lapse, and if you wanna skip to the Skyshot and the finished island in the end, there's a timestamp down in the description. If you got any feedback for me, please let me know, and see you next time.